like I said, I've been struggling to write a couple of books. You as a writing coach, and you have written several books. One of them,
Fine,
yeah,
demystifying.
the art of writing. Okay,
Yes.
so tell us, in your experience, what are the most major hindrances in writing?
So first, the concept of that particular book, which is demystifying the art called writing. So what I just did there was just to demystify, or just to break down that concept called the art called writing. Because I mean, so many people see it as, you know, a huge and a huge something that's that appears so tough
Mm.
that nobody can do, that is meant for only a particular type of person. You
Okay.
know, that's how Africans even see it. That's one of the big problems. You know, so many Africans, they just see that art, that aspect of writing belonging to a some specialized kind of persons, you know,
Mm.
otherwise known as the whites, or probably known as the brilliant persons. So to them, what do I have to share? What is that I want to share? You know, I don't have anything to share. Why will I be writing? Writing is not meant for me. You know,
Mm.
that's just the ideology. So because the thing is that when we were growing up, we were we were programmed with that mentality that it belongs to a group of persons, or probably known as the elites or the whites. So it doesn't belong to everybody. So that mentality, people grew up with it, and that became their own reality, you know, and they are now operating with that ideology, that this belongs to this belongs to that. So what I did in that particular work, demystifying the art called writing, was to break it down, take it step by step, bit by bit, show people what's the art of writing truly entails, and how to get your work done. Was what I just did in that
Okay.
particular way. So I
So
had to break it down. I had to kills, flush out so many mentality, many hindrances, such as um, uh, I am not an authority. Why will I
mm.
write a book? So many people also think that they are not yet an authority, because I mean, when you write a book, the concept author was coined from the root word, or the word authority was actually coined from the root word authorship. You understand?
Okay.
So for you to author a book, you must be an
An
authority
authority.
in a particular field. You understand? So many people just think they are not an authority in a particular field. Why will I author a book? But the fact still remains that you can't become an authority in any field waiting. You just have to be in the process, in that thing you yearn to become an authority, before that spirit of authority comes upon you. So that's
Mm.
just it. Yeah. So it is in the process that you become, not why you're waiting. So that's just it. So that mentality alone, that I am not an authority. Why will I author a book? So we have to clear it out. We point out so many things, for you to just know. Yes. So that's just it. So you don't have to become an authority before you author a book. Once you have the
Okay.
ability to research, once you have the 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 sense of thoroughness, the ability to think, the ability to find, to make research, then you are good to go. You understand? Because the fact still remains that nobody knows it all. Even my
Yeah.
first book that I wrote, Your Foolish Mind. Now, that book was basically on the biological construction of the mindset. Now, I am art inclined. that I studied arts in school. So anything that has to do with sciences is not my thing. But when I was constructing, when I was putting up that book, the Your Foolish Mind, I had to take, I took some courses on science. I took a course on neuroscience. I took some courses on Coursera, just to build up and strengthen my knowledge in the field of science, because I know that there is a connection of the mindset that has to do with science. So that was why I learned a lot about neurosciences. I learned about quantum physics. Yes, quantum physics. I also learned about the nocebo effect and the placebo effect.
Okay.
All these concepts were the things that I got to know. Then I put it there. I added it there. Also, the reticular articulating system.
Yeah.
So all these concepts about the mind. So that's just it. So that is one. I'm not an authority. How will I author a book? That's one. So the second thing is that people just think people no longer read books, or the feeling that whatsoever you want to write has been written before.
Mm.
All the things you want to write on, they've been written before. Is it mindset? Is it leadership? Is it mentorship? Is it productivity? They've all been written before. But this is a statement that I usually make. Even though they have written before, even though they've all been written before, the idea that when you write it, backed up with your own specialized experiences and your own view and perception towards that concept makes it different. So your story is different, your experiences is different as well, and your insights, the way you think, is also different. So that is just it. So the thing is that even that so-called bestseller that we celebrate today, his or her thoughts might not change that young boy, that young girl outside there. But once they get hold of your own story, something might even struck a chord in their mental agility, and it will change everything entirely. So that's just the idea. So when people come up to me and tell me all this, I just tell them, hello, what about if you put yours, coupled with your own experiences and your own stories, with your own perception? How do you see that? It makes it different. That's just it.